In the quaint town of Willow Creek, Ethan Carter has always embraced the charm of his community, where neighbors share smiles and stories. However, his peaceful life takes a turn when a new homeowners association, HOA, implements a series of stringent rules that threaten the very essence of his home. These regulations, ranging from absurd lawn color restrictions to prohibitions on personal decorations, seem designed to stifle individuality and creativity. As Ethan navigates this bureaucratic maze, he finds himself at odds with the HOA, which appears more focused on conformity than community spirit. This tale unfolds as a testament to resilience, showcasing Ethan's determination to stand up against what he perceives as oppressive regulations. Viewers will be drawn into the absurdity of the situation, where simple acts of self-expression are met with resistance. Through Ethan's journey, we explore the vital importance of community freedom and the lengths one must go to preserve it, reminding us all that sometimes standing up for what is right means challenging the status quo. The introduction of the 8 p.m. visitor curfew by the HOA sent shockwaves through Willow Creek, fundamentally disrupting the normalcy that Ethan Carter had come to cherish. This new policy, ostensibly aimed at maintaining peace and quiet, felt more like an invasion of privacy, dictating when friends and family could visit. For Ethan, who often hosted gatherings to foster community spirit, this rule was not just an inconvenience. It was an affront to his way of life. His initial reaction was a mix of disbelief and frustration as he grappled with the absurdity of being told when he could entertain guests in his own home. The situation became even more complicated with the presence of Marjorie Henshaw, the HOA's self-appointed enforcer, who took great pleasure in patrolling the neighborhood for any violations. Her unwavering commitment to the rules made her a formidable opponent for Ethan, as she seemed to thrive on the power the HOA granted her. This clash between Ethan's desire for community connection and the HOA's rigid regulations set the stage for a battle over personal freedom in Willow Creek. The day Ethan received his first fine for having a guest stay past the 8 p.m. curfew was a turning point in his battle against the HOA. As he opened the envelope, a wave of frustration washed over him. The fine felt like a personal attack on his freedom and autonomy. The implications of the HOA's control became painfully clear. This was not just about a minor infraction, but a stark reminder of how easily they could impose their will on residents. The emotional impact of being penalized for something so trivial weighed heavily on Ethan, leaving him feeling powerless and disheartened. It was a bitter pill to swallow, knowing that a simple gathering with friends could lead to such punitive measures. This moment illuminated the power dynamics at play within the community, where the HOA wielded authority over the lives of its residents, often with little regard for individual circumstances. Ethan's frustration ignited a fire within him, compelling him to confront the absurdity of the situation and rally others who felt similarly oppressed, setting the stage for a larger struggle for community autonomy. As the new rules and fines imposed by the HOA began to take their toll, Ethan quickly discovered that he was not alone in his frustration. His neighbors, including Carlos, voiced their shared grievances, recounting similar experiences of being penalized for minor infractions. This collective frustration fostered a sense of camaraderie among the residents, as they realized that the HOA's overreach affected everyone in Willow Creek. Conversations over backyard fences turned into passionate discussions about the absurdity of the regulations, with neighbors exchanging stories of fines and restrictions that felt increasingly oppressive. The spirit of community began to flourish as they united against a common adversary. Recognizing the need for a coordinated response, Ethan and Carlos proposed community meetings as a platform for resistance. These gatherings became a space for residents to voice their concerns, share strategies, and brainstorm ways to challenge the HOA's authority. The meetings not only strengthened their bonds but also ignited a movement, empowering the residents to reclaim their rights and advocate for a more inclusive and understanding community. Together, they began to envision a future where individuality and freedom could thrive once more. The atmosphere in the HOA meeting was thick with tension as residents gathered to voice their concerns about the increasingly oppressive rules. Ethan sat among his neighbors, feeling the weight of their collective frustration as they prepared to confront Marjorie Henshaw, the HOA's enforcer. The room buzzed with a mix of anxiety and determination, as homeowners like Carlos passionately articulated their arguments against the curfew and fines. They highlighted the absurdity of penalizing families for simply wanting to enjoy each other's company, emphasizing that the regulations stifled the very essence of community life. As voices rose in unison, it became clear that a divide had formed between the HOA board and the frustrated homeowners. Marjorie, seated at the front, maintained a stern demeanor, dismissing their concerns with bureaucratic indifference. The residents, however, were undeterred, rallying together to demand change and accountability. This meeting marked a pivotal moment in their struggle as the tension between the desire for community freedom and the HOA's rigid authority reached a boiling point, setting the stage for a confrontation that could redefine their neighborhood. In the midst of escalating tensions with the HOA, Ethan decided to involve his father, Robert Carter, a seasoned construction expert with decades of experience in home building and community development. Robert had always been a source of wisdom for Ethan, instilling in him the values of hard work and standing up for what is right. Recognizing the need for a strategic approach to challenge the HOA's authority, Ethan believed that his father's expertise could provide invaluable insights into the legalities and regulations governing their community. Robert's background in construction meant he understood the nuances of property rights and zoning laws, which could be pivotal in countering the HOA's overreach. Ethan's rationale for seeking his father's help stemmed from a desire to not only protect his own home, but also to empower his neighbors in their fight for community freedom. Together, they began to formulate a plan that would involve gathering evidence, researching local laws, and rallying support from other residents. This collaboration marked a turning point in Ethan's journey as he prepared to confront the HOA with a well-informed strategy that could potentially shift the balance of power in Willow Creek. Robert Carter wasted no time in leveraging his influence to disrupt the HOA's ambitious clubhouse project, which had become a symbol of their overreach. He strategically reached out to Pinnacle Construction, the contractor hired for the project, using his extensive network to express concerns about the HOA's practices and the community's growing discontent. Robert's calls were not just casual conversations. They were calculated moves designed to sow doubt and hesitation in the contractor's mind. As word spread that Pinnacle might reconsider their involvement, the implications for the HOA became increasingly dire. Losing their contractor would not only stall the clubhouse project, but also expose the HOA's vulnerability and mismanagement. The ensuing chaos among the board members was palpable as they scrambled to maintain control and reassure residents. Tensions mounted as the possibility of a public fallout loomed, with residents eager to capitalize on any weakness shown by the HOA. The suspense built around the potential consequences of Robert's actions, as Ethan and his neighbors watched closely, hopeful that this disruption could finally shift the balance of power in their favor and ignite a larger movement for change. The fallout from the HOA's failed clubhouse project sent shockwaves through Willow Creek, prompting Marjorie Henshaw to call an emergency meeting in a desperate attempt to regain control. As she stood at the front of the room, her frantic demeanor was evident. The once confident enforcer of the HOA now faced a community emboldened by their recent victories. Residents exchanged knowing glances, feeling a newfound sense of empowerment as they gathered to discuss the implications of the stalled project. The shift in power dynamics was palpable As neighbors who once felt silenced began to voice their frustrations openly, challenging Marjorie's authority with renewed vigor. The atmosphere buzzed with determination as discussions turned to strategies for resisting the HOA's oppressive rules. The community's growing resistance was evident, with residents rallying around the idea that they could reclaim their rights and redefine their neighborhood. Marjorie's attempts to quell the uprising only fueled the fire as her authority waned in the face of collective action. This pivotal moment marked a turning point in Willow Creek, where the spirit of unity and defiance began to reshape the future of their community. In a remarkable turn of events, the HOA finally lifted the visitor curfew and removed the fines. That had stifled the spirit of Willow Creek. This decision marked a significant victory for the residents, who had banded together to challenge the oppressive regulations. The newfound freedom was palpable as neighbors rejoiced at the prospect of welcoming friends and family without fear of penalties. Celebrations erupted throughout the community, with impromptu gatherings and barbecues filling backyards as laughter and camaraderie returned to the streets. The sense of unity among residents was stronger than ever as they embraced their reclaimed community with open arms. This moment served as a powerful reminder of the importance of standing up against unjust rules. It was a testament to the strength that comes from collective action and the unwavering belief in their rights. As the sun set over Willow Creek, the atmosphere was charged with hope and determination, signaling a new chapter where individuality and community spirit could flourish. The residents had not only reclaimed their freedom, but had also set a precedent for future generations, proving that, together, they could overcome any challenge. Ethan's journey in Willow Creek serves as a powerful reminder of the importance of community and the necessity of standing up against oppressive regulations. Through his struggles with the HOA, we witnessed how collective action can lead to meaningful change, as neighbors united to reclaim their rights and freedoms. The key events, from the absurdity of the curfew to the successful disruption of the clubhouse project, highlighted the strength found in solidarity and the impact of voicing concerns. As viewers reflect on their own communities, it's essential to consider the rules they follow and whether those regulations truly serve the best interests of everyone involved. Are there policies that stifle individuality or community spirit? Ethan's story encourages us to question the status quo and advocate for a more inclusive environment. If you found inspiration in this tale of resilience, we invite you to subscribe, like, and share this video. Together, we can spread awareness and empower others to stand up for their communities, ensuring that everyone has a voice in shaping their shared spaces.